So, let's analyze what kind of initiatives and environments would be more appropriately managed via waterfall methodology and what kind via agile. The first point is uncertainty. As we know, projects deal with future events, so there will always be a certain degree of uncertainty. This degree, however, can make a big difference. Let's imagine it's represented by this cone. The further in time we look, the more things can happen, the more scenarios that can take place. The only sure thing is the actual moment, today. In some cases, the scenarios may be well known in advance and predictable to a good extent. In these cases, we can build an effective plan, and waterfall would be a more efficient solution. We analyze, confirm the best plan, and go for it in the most time and resource efficient way possible. In other cases, however, the uncertainty can be quite significant. The possibilities can be countless, and no matter how much you plan, you will not know well enough how things will go before you start moving and unveiling these uncertainties. Methodologies based on the agile principles are truly beneficial in such circumstances. The product is created and tested gradually. Work evolves step by step. The team is flexible to adapt to the actual situation, using the knowledge and information gathered during execution. So, if uncertainty is significant, look for agile solutions, as the product will be developed and tested gradually, leaving room for changing and adapting it. Next point is scope. What is it like? Projects in which scope can be well defined in advance. Projects in which scope is complex and can only be defined at a higher level. Can the scope be defined in detail before we start execution? In the cases when the sponsor, client, and other relevant stakeholders can define the detailed requirements at the beginning, waterfall methodologies would provide a more efficient framework. It will lock the scope and optimize the time and resources needed to realize the defined scope. The project management triple constraint laws. In these cases, the scope can be fully agreed before execution, identifying in advance all dependencies between the project activities. Public projects or construction projects in general are a classic example, as there is a strict sequence. The architectural, engineering, and design plans have to be locked, and then strict standards will be applied during the construction work. It will be quite hard to change the architectural plan of a building and add 2 extra floors when it is halfway through. Note that even if you can physically make such a change, often you are forced to comply with the plan due to regulatory requirements and laws. Hence, projects in highly regulated business also lean towards waterfall-like methodologies. If, on the other hand, the activities in the project scope cannot be clearly ordered in a linear way and the detailed requirements cannot be set in stone, Agile would provide better solutions. The project will be structured in a way to absorb changes and updates to the requirement as the work evolves and uncertainties are revealed. As time passes, uncertainty decreases. More things become known, and product characteristics, functionalities, and features can be better defined. The project team can add valuable new work and avoid work that is no longer relevant. In this way, the utility or usefulness of the final product can be maximized and the customer and users satisfied. As mentioned in the previous lessons, a good example are projects involving complex work, such as product development, especially software development as a classic one. In these cases, the product is often unique, as it includes design, functionalities, or features which are heavily customized for the needs of a specific company or organization. Or, if the product will be used by the market. You can imagine how complex the requirements definition process can be in the case of a software product, which will be used by millions of users. So, if the stakeholders can agree on the scope from the beginning, waterfall may give you a more efficient way of achieving it. If not, you would need the flexibility of an agile structure. Another good question you can ask yourself is how strong the time and cost constraints are. Projects in which time and cost, no delay or extra spend allowed. Projects in which the utility of the final product is the most important thing, customer satisfaction. In the case that the constraint is significant on either time or cost, you will need to do your best to define the requirements and ensure the limited resources will be enough. Waterfall would be more efficient in such cases as it's generally faster, with the team able to build good momentum working without interruption during the execution phase. That would also often be the case from a resource perspective, as the sequential structure is a bit more straightforward and easy to understand, with clear processes and rules like project plan, critical path, and Gantt chart. Furthermore, team members can more easily participate in a waterfall project part-time. The project structure in an agile environment is usually more sophisticated, requiring more resources and time for coordination. For example, team members need to be fully dedicated to one project, significant participation by the client side, more time and efforts for coordination, including agile systems and software, training sessions, and professional agile practitioners to participate, like the Scrum Master, for example. These aspects, however, increase the chances of satisfying the customer need successfully. So if time and cost fluctuations are tolerable for the sake of creating a better product for the customer, it will be sensible to look for agile solutions. As a recap, Waterfall can be more efficient in the utilization of project resources, time and cost, while Agile will help you satisfy a more specific and complex customer problem. Alright, after looking at all these details and specifics, we can brainstorm on the results and conclusions we can draw in the next video. See you there.